Hey everyone, and welcome to the Solar Pedal Collective, where we rise through shared light. I'm Ryan. Great having your energy here. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Thank you so very much. So today, I know it's been a couple days, and since I last threw something out there, it's just it's been hectic. Life has been hectic, and not in a bad way. So it's been a very interesting week. It has been both negative and positive events happening this week. So it's there has been a lot of balance, but also at the same time it's also been very, very hectic. It's been very, very hectic. The energies, even though there's kind of been balance, the energies have definitely been interesting. I've had a lot of the days this week. It's been the energies felt very bristly, if that were to be a way to put it. Enunciation is great. But yeah, it's or like electricity dancing on your skin. That's what it has felt like a majority of the days this week. So there's been a lot of energy. The aura that I see on everything, still, I just to update you, I still see it. It's still on everything. But on the days where the energy feels very intense, the aura is also very intense. So things are happening. Change is happening. Because, like, based on information that I have learned with auras and how to read auras and things like that, just the little bit of research that I've done, I need to dive into so much research. I need to dive into so much. But I don't have time. But I need to make time. But I don't have time. But if you don't have time, how can you ever really take time? It's all about time. But yeah, so it's been very, very energetic days. It's been visually, it's been very vibrant because of the aura, and how the aura gets more intense when the energy is more intense. And I'm talking like the planetary aura, like the aura that is on trees and grass and leaves and bushes and animals and insects and everything, rocks, sand, you name it. There is an aura on everything. If you can't see the aura that is on inanimate objects, then I want to say your third eye is not open enough. But I can't really say that from a position of authority, because I'm really only half a year into my spiritual journey. Half a year, that's it. So much has happened to me in half a year, it has been insane. And like I said, it feels weird to see, like, and read people's stories that, like, it takes them months, or it's a lifelong progression. Which, I mean, in retrospect, technically it has been a lifelong progression for me, because I'm in my 40s. So it's taken over 40 years. But, yeah, it's, I don't see, like, I don't understand how the process has gone so slow for some people. And I'm also curious as to how that looks, if you know what I mean. Because I experienced such an abrupt awakening. I wonder how the experience is to have, like, that slow introduction into it. introduction into your ability. And as you can see, like I'm also like I'm channeling, I'm hearing things, I'm seeing things. Oh my gosh. Today on the way into work, I caught something out of the corner of my eye in the clouds. Like, and it looked like a shape. And it was see-through. Like, it wasn't a solid shape that I saw. Like, it looked see-through. It looked like an outline of something in the sky, like just sitting like in the clouds. Not the clouds, because we're getting smoke and everything from Canada. So like sitting in that haze. There we go, sitting in the haze. And it caught my attention for a second. I was like, it's the first time I've seen something like that. I'm like, what? What was that? And like as I'm driving, I'm trying to drive and still pay attention to what I saw out of the corner of my eye. And yeah, it's like I don't want to say like a UAP or a UFO, because like looking at the space, you don't see anything, but that doesn't necessarily mean that something isn't there. Because if you're thinking fourth dimensionally, fifth dimensionally, absolutely something could be there. And then there's the thing about time, like doing more research on dimensions and everything, and there's like the theory, or it's theorized now and more widely accepted now, that the fourth dimension is not time. It's just another physical dimension in space. Because if the fourth dimension was time, that doesn't really make sense, because time is in every dimension. And I mean, I get that. Thinking scientifically, I get that. Because if you're going in stages of dimensions, first dimension is a line, second dimension is a right angle to a line. So now you have this. Third dimension, you get depth, which is another right angle to the two lines. And so the fourth dimension, it would be if you were going in that step progression, a fourth dimension would be a right angle to the already three other lines present, which, if you are looking at it three-dimensionally, is impossible. Because the three lines that are already going at right angles create an impossibility where in a three-dimensional space you can't really have another line coming out that is a 90-degree angle of all the other lines, unless you stamp the 3D angle back in a 2D space, if you think about that. So essentially, if you make the flux capacitor, hold on, I'm gonna do very crude representation of what I'm trying to say. And I'm not a physicist. I'm not really I'm not really full-blown scientist. So I mean, I'm saying this just like what I'm being told and like the image that I'm getting in my head. So if you look, or like realistically, what you're trying to do so essentially blah blah blah, whatever. So very crude representation of a square or a cube. It's just giving you depth and everything. So you're trying to find another line that can come out of this point that is a right angle to all other three lines. So you can't do that in a 3D space. So you essentially, to make a 4-dimensional object, theoretically, you would have to remove essentially the limitation of the 3rd dimension. And you would have to turn that corner into a Y. You would essentially have to turn the 3D corner, stamp it to where you're looking at it from this direction. And then what you would do is you would lay this flat, and then you would make a line coming from the middle of it. That would be the only way that you could start creating a 3D object in 4 dimensions. Is you'd have to start getting funky. You'd have to start getting funky with dimensions. And like a lot of like scientists would say, like going into the 4th dimension, you'd have the representation of a 3D object in 4 dimensions, like it would be classified as like a tesseract. And there's no way to represent an image of a tesseract that your mind will comprehend, because you're trying to comprehend essentially a 4D object. And essentially you're trying to comprehend a 3D object in 4D space, like a true 3D object. Because like in the 1st dimension, you can only see in 1 plane. In the 2nd dimension, you can see in 2 planes, but you're seeing 1-dimensionally. Because now you can see a square, but you can only ever see a square in a single plane. You can see it in 2 dimensions, like if it falls over, you're seeing 2 dimensions. But normally you're observing it in 1 dimension. And then when you go into 3 dimensions, you're essentially seeing things in 2-dimensional space. You're seeing an object, but you can't really tell if it's closer, like if it's going closer or farther away from you. The only way you can tell is based off of light hitting the surface. If there was no light hitting the surface, and an object, like we had an object grow as we put it farther away or shrink as we got it closer, you wouldn't be able to tell. So you're realistically, you're viewing an object, like in 3D, you're viewing an object in 2D. The only reason you're being able to perceive it in 3D is you have 2 sets, you have 2 eyes. So you're seeing an object from 2 different angles. So you're seeing it with 2 different, like, light reflecting and refracting off of it. So that's how you're seeing the depth. That's how you're seeing the 3D object. But if you only, when you lose an eye, that's why they say it's more difficult to drive, because you no longer have depth perception. You can no longer perceive depth as well. So we went off on a whole tangent, and there was kind of a purpose behind that. So I do have tarot cards here. This is the Prism Tarot. And the method that I've kind of been introduced to from channeling, meditation, and everything, like my method, it has conditions. And I know that sounds weird. But it's the way I'm being told that this is how I should do it, because it's unique, it's different, it's unique, and it's a method that they used to do, but it was lost to time and to fear, is what I'm being told. So the way I'm being told to read tarot is to tell a story. And that was one of the conditions, was what we were doing just now. I was telling a story. And the reason I'm told that I need to tell a story is because with me telling a story, I'm bringing my vibrational frequency into my intuition and like my channeling, and I'm getting it there. But I'm also sending my vibrational frequency into the video, which is then going to you, and it's changing your vibrational frequency. So it's to get your frequency, your energy, your vibration into more of a receptive state. Not just receptive, but also more, not necessarily compliant, but more fluid. So when you are holding a question in your mind's eye and everything, it is more easily attained into the cards. And the way I read cards is completely different too. The orientation does not matter. I'm being told the orientation does not matter. And it goes off of just my interpretation of the cards. It doesn't matter what the card says, what's on the card or anything like that. It's just my interpretation of the card. So I've already shuffled it and everything. So we're just gonna go to it. So this will be a collective reading. Just hold in your mind's eye what you want to ask in the cards, or what you want to know from the cards. And then whatever comes through is going to be specific for a group of people or someone. And if it is not specific for you, if it doesn't resonate with you, then just leave it. And if it does, then please comment down below. And yeah, and if you find yourself liking my content and coming back, don't hesitate to like, subscribe, and all that stuff. Hit the bell notification icon. So let's get to it. All right. So yeah. So I draw cards until it starts telling a story. So the first one, and I like how these cards look. The Oracle of Raindrops. So we already got an eye. So that's good. So the Oracle of Raindrops. What else? And I'm sorry, I'm going to fumble with cards. It's going to be horrible because this is new to me. And then we got the Apprentice of Gems, which is abundance. But it is, oh my goodness. Apprentice of Gems, but also efficiency. And then the Six of Gems, generosity. So we're starting to get a little bit of a story here. Starting to get a little bit of dialogue. We just got the Novice of Raindrops. So, and then once I'm done, like trying to interpret the cards and everything, I'll throw it up there of what the cards ended up going into. The Ace of Clouds, which is new ideas on the card, but not necessarily new ideas. I view the clouds in this deck as the illusion, as the smoke in your eyes. So whenever those come out, that's what I'm seeing. Two of Lightning. Okay, so I should be able to start figuring something out with the cards here. So let's see. All right, so oh, it's almost there. A lot of that. Ace of Raindrops. Okay. So I'm being drawn a lot to this, and I see, like, as you can see, and like I said, the clouds to me in this deck represent like the illusion, the Matrix, and it looks like it's shiny, like it's vibrant, and so I think somebody is starting to see the shimmer of the illusion. You're starting to see it. And then, oh, okay. Like you're starting to see it, and through, I'm trying to piece that together. Through hardship. Yep, okay. Through a new, like, so like this one's also showing shiny and everything. So through the shimmering illusion, a new hardship that you saw coming is going to be costly, but in that, like, even though it's going to be costly, you are also, like, it's going to bring you to a point where you're going to be able to just take that hardship, using your abilities and your intuition, you're going to start to create abundance. What else do they need to know? Your abilities are going to, you're going to use your abilities to essentially defend yourself, defend your plan, what you want. My goodness. I'll stop there. So with the Five of Lightning, this competition, and like I'm being drawn a lot to, like, through competitiveness or through battle, you're going to find more abilities. So through the hardship, through battle, through all that, you're going to find more abilities. It's going to create a new, strong ability, which turns this, where you're just working on a minor abundance with just yourself or you and one other person, because this looks like more divine masculine, this looks more like divine feminine. Even though they could like represent just like somebody holding like this, it's just the like I get the feeling that it's like masculine and feminine. So it's like two people, but it's gonna, your ability is gonna change this into where you're now creating more with more people. So you're gonna have a community that is gonna help you create abundance. And that doesn't necessarily mean wealth, that's just abundance to you. What? Sorry. The sun, okay. Alright. Alright. More interesting. So, you're going to get that collaboration, so you're going to start creating more abundance with more of a community. And then you are going to get essentially an artifact. You are going to find something that resonates with you. It could be a tool. It could be something just as simple as a pendant. But it's going to be something that resonates with you, and when you find it, it's going to essentially elevate. It's going to awaken. It's going to send you on your path. And you are going to achieve so much with it. Like this it's going to get you to your goal. You see it with such clarity. You see it. And it's going to help you master the illusion. Is there anything else that the collective needs to know? And you'll master your hardships. And the only reason I'm saying this is hardship is because that's how it represented itself in the beginning of this reading. The raindrops doesn't necessarily always mean hardship. But this one, you're going to master your hardship. And let's see, I'm going to guess. We're going to see the victory card. So, at some point in time. And when you master these, when you get to this stage, you raise everyone. That means everyone awakens. When whoever this is for, when you get to this, when you see with such clarity and you reach your achievements of abundance, and it could be wealth, it could be whatever, by finding your talisman or your artifact that will elevate your vibration and bring you to where you are the master of your reality, and you lift the whole world up. And we'll split the deck. Six of Clouds. So you will find yourself going through the illusion. Like how how the boat is above it, how it's going through it. Like you will be able to go through the illusion. You will be able to see through it. So yeah, I'm gonna leave this here. And this but that's it right there. And I reordered the cards. We started with this, continued on to here, and got to there with the world card there. Whoever that's for, if that resonates with you, like, please don't hesitate to leave a comment down below. If it doesn't resonate with you, just leave it there. But I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so very much for tuning in. I hope that you enjoyed the reading. That's my first one on the channel, so my first collective reading on the channel, doing it and everything. If you find that, like I said, if you find that you like my content, please subscribe. I'm trying to build a community and everything, and get like minds and everything, so we can rise through shared light together. So yeah, as you can tell, like I'm very spacey. I'm very like I zone out, but like because I'm hearing things. But so sorry. I keep trying to talk, and then it's like I get a download. But thank you so much for bringing your energy into the space, for helping me with my first collective reading, and I hope to see you on the next one. Have a good one.